Alright guys, my name is Chris Gutierrez with Code 3 Motors, longtime paramedic and diesel mechanic. I apologize in advance for the wind. I have a windscreen on my microphone, but it's probably still going to be a little noisy. This is a 2006 F450 4x4 Power Stroke Super Duty with only 69,000 miles on it. I'm going to give you a walk around tour of this guy, and then we're going to go through all the exterior compartments, and we'll jump in the back, look at the patient compartment, and then we'll go in the cab, look at the motor, look at the undercarriage, and then we're going to go for a test drive. So it's going to be probably 30 to 40 minutes worth of video, probably broken up into different pieces, but worth watching. This thing is in fantastic shape. It needs nothing. It's deployment ready. You can probably see the paint is in fantastic shape. You cannot read what it used to say, and it's ready for your graphics to go on and be put in service. You'll also notice it's got a pretty robust deer bumper on the front, and you could also use that. It's got some pretty heavy duty anchor points if you're doing any kind of rappelling or any kind of rope rescue. So let's go ahead and start going through our compartments. The first one is going to be our O2 compartment, and this is our compartment. You'll see that the regulator is there and present. Well, it's zip tied to the the top support there, but you can put an M tank, or you could fit an H tank in here. It's tall enough to do that. And you'll notice, and there's your Star of Life sticker right there. The coach builder is tailor made. So that is the coach builder. That is the Star of Life sticker. What I was going to say, you'll notice in all the compartments, the diamond plate is like brand new. So, and then those lights will go on if the motor is running. But I'm already competing with the wind, so you can hear me, so I have the motor off right now, but we'll just knock out the rest of these compartments. Here's a large compartment. Now you'll notice that the inverter has been removed. If you need an inverter, we can put one in for you. I prefer the Xantrex inverter myself. We do those all the time, so and we actually have them. So if you need an inverter, we can put one in. Not a big deal. I don't have any extra vanners. If you want a vanner inverter, we'd have to order it. But you'll notice it's a pretty big space, probably about 3 feet wide by 15 or 16 inches deep. There's that compartment. Up above is all the electronics. This is where all the relays, the solenoids and everything go for all of the emergency lights and all of the patient compartment features. So it's pretty cool that it's located like this outside, very easy for your mechanic and service people to service. And then the suction motor is also there, other electronic components, breaker box and whatnot. So all of that terminates right here. There's that. And then our last compartment on this side, another big compartment. This is probably 2.5 feet wide by 16 inches deep or so. There is an adjustable shelf. If you want to lower that to make better access of it, you can, or better use of it. It's up high because they had something large down there, extrication equipment, turnout gear, something like that. We're going to get in the back in just a minute. And then on this side, so our backboard compartment, you will see there's a very large compartment. You can probably put oh geez, I mean, you can put a scoop stretcher in there. You could put a scoop stretcher and 3 or 4 backboards plus a flat. So it's really big. There's that. This compartment here, also a good size. It's perfect size for turnout gear, helmets, boots, that kind of stuff. That would fit nicely in there, or extrication equipment. And then this compartment here would be all your stuff that you're taking into your rescue, your jump bag, your portable suction, your monitor, and all that stuff. Down below is the compressor. It does have rear airbag suspension, And in addition to, I believe it has air horns, if I'm not mistaken. I'm not 100% on the air horn part, but it does have airbag suspension, and that's the primary purpose of that pump right there. So let's go ahead and let me fire it up. I'm going to jump in the back. We'll start going through all of that stuff, and then we'll get in the cab and start looking at all the Ford stuff. But for now, let me get the keys and we'll get it going. Okay. All right, let's go jump in the back. Now, if you're familiar, because it's a 4x4 and because it's an F450, you'll see it's kind of pretty beefed up, right? So, I mean, it sits pretty high. There's probably a 1 foot clearance between the top of the tire and the top of the fender well. And because it sits higher, it's got a higher deck back here. So when we open the doors, not this one, but the second door, it will release the air. You can hear it lowering, so you can get the deck lower to get your gurney in and out. You'll notice the floor is in excellent shape, and everything back here is in fantastic shape. So there's a look, and you'll see set up for a Striker, MX Pro, Power Pro, or Easy Pro, or most of the Furno gurneys will fit in here as well, except for any of the 28 model series won't work back here. So we have all these cabinets here. You'll also notice, you'll see the little shocks that are up there. That's because you can open that up to do like mass restock, or if there's something way deep back there that you can't get to, you can lift the whole thing up instead of just using the sliding doors. So there's those two up there. The skinnier ones, some of them they're all labeled A through M or something like that, and more space there. There's this space here, a place to put your monitor with a plug back there, but we would definitely need the inverter to be in there. I'm pretty sure they might even have this thing scheduled to have an inverter put in, but as far as I know, I'm just telling you, it doesn't have one as of the making of this video. So there's a small compartment above the CPR seat. There is the CPR seat. Also, if you want more counter space, you can do that, but I don't think you need that much counter space unless you're having a buffet back here. So I would just leave it like that. There's that. There's more space here for your BVMs, your O2 mask cannulas, airways, stuff like that. More space up above. There's a lockable narcotics locker with the key in there. And you'll see there's that. This is access for the AC. Oh, it's the whole thing comes out. But if you need to service the AC, that can be removed. And then there's the main portion of the climate control system, the Engel climate control. And then there's also reach through for your O2 compartment back there. Here's all of our switches and controls. Climate control is over here, so if you want cool, for example, whoa, that comes right in your face, right there. And then our speed selector is here, and you can see that it is, alright, so there's low, and then if you want it to go up, you can probably see those little yellow lights. There, it's maxed out right there. If you want heat, just go over to heat, and then this is what's telling you what it's at right now. If you want it warmer, just get it up to 73, and it'll stay blowing this fast until it reaches that desired temperature, and then it'll shut itself off. It'll only come on when it dips below your desired temperature. So that's how that works. So our light switches here, let me sit down. Well, before I sit down, you'll notice also the jump seat in fantastic shape. It has an integrated child seat. You can see that right there. Let me sit down here for a second and I'll show you our lights. So there's low, that's the bright. You see that? Watch, you go there, it's a little brighter. So there's that for that side, for the cot side. The bench seat side, off, low, there's high, and then our fluorescent lights. There's 2 banks of that, and then that's our lights. So you can hear, this is our switch for our suction motor. You can hear it going. I wish I would have known that this didn't have a suction regulator. I would have grabbed one out of another rig and put it in there, but I can hear the motor working, so the suction works, and then we've got our exhaust vent. So if there are odors back here that you're not happy about, you can evacuate those right from there. Then our action light. What is the action light? I don't know what well, there's a little patient care report light. This action light, I'm not really sure I'm not familiar with that particular switch. Action light is what it says. And then there's a buzzer, so you can notify your partner, and then you could give him status lights up in front. So if your patient crashes, you can flip the switch, a red light in the center console goes on, and you can just buzz them. If you're going code 2, maybe he'll step it up code 3. So there's that. I prefer just to yell through the window, unless there's a family member sitting in the passenger seat. I prefer just to use open language than little lights, hoping that he sees the light. So there's that. Let's go over to, so the bench seat. You can see again, the upholstery is in nice condition. There's no tears, no cuts, nothing like that. You can also put a second patient on the bench seat. There's O2 outlet. You can give them O2. There's also plugs. There's also cabinetry. Quite a lot of cabinets above the bench seat. And this is a really tall box. I'm 6'1". I'm standing up straight right now. And my head is not touching, but I can feel my hat. I have a hat on. My hat is touching the ceiling. So very tall box, so this wouldn't be anywhere close to your head if you're sitting down on the bench seat. There is a little bit of storage space underneath the bench seat for pillows, blankets, stuff like that. This compartment here with the roll-up door, and there's also more cabinet space above that. This is our compartment that you can access from outside. So you just lift this bar, and then you have access to your 3 shelves there for that, and then that's your door that you would access outside. So you can lock this up. If you park your ambulance outside or something like that, and it's not the best neighborhood, they won't be able to get your portable gear. So, and then there's our door, obviously, for our side entry. Okay, so let's go jump in the front. I think we covered everything back here. I want to go over all the Ford stuff, and then we're going to look. We can look under the chassis and all, in the motor and all that stuff. So let me close the doors. Then again, when you close this door, it'll start rising right away. I don't know if you can see that, but it's going up pretty quick. So maybe if I go over here, you can see it rising. I think it's just about maxed. It's where it's supposed to be. All right. Here's our undercarriage. You can see the fuel tank's in great shape. And I'll come in from the side. You can see the airbag suspension under there too. Oh yeah, you know what? Let me give you a shot of the tires. That one there. That one, I think you can see a little bit of a shadow, but good tread. Excuse me, I'm just getting over a cold. Might be the flu, I'm not sure. Let me pop the hood and we'll look at the motor. You can see here, it looks fantastic. Let me go a higher view. Sounds really good, and you can see that it came from the factory red. You can see the underside of the hood. Sometimes you pop the hood and it's white because it started out white, but this rig has always been red. So the white that you see was actually painted over the red for the top part of the cab. So yeah, let's get inside.